What's up, Grayson Report? What's up, Vic, Manda Panda, Melissa, Jen? What is up? Did anybody do anything exciting this weekend thus far? I know a lot of us on Telegram, I believe, was watching Totally Killer on Prime. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw that. Cheryl King, Tammy, what's up? James S. How's it going? Give me 1 second, guys. Let me turn my fan down. Now it seems like it's too loud. 1 second. All right, I had to turn it down to the low setting because it seemed like Bernadette, what's up? Let me turn my tablet on. Did anyone do anything exciting today? I know I worked. That was my exciting day today. Elaine, what's up? All right. That way I could see the chat this way because my tablet's like my second screen. Melissa goes, my son came over for dinner and he grew a beard. He looks so handsome, says his mom. Oh, that's super cool, Melissa. You got to spend some time with your son. That's super awesome. Randy, what is up? Bernadette unclogged a shower drain. How exciting. But it has to be done. Because if you don't unclog it, you can't use your shower. Yeah, that kind of sucks. When was it? Like 2 weeks ago? I went to turn on the shower and my shower head burst. Because I have one of those hand ones where you can unhook it and, and and you know how it has like a hose? It like just burst and then it leaked. And I was like, how can I take a shower now? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I could still take a shower. The water coming out of the burst part. So that was kind of interesting. But I got a new shower head and it is wonderful. Jen survived going to Costco. I felt like the game Frogger trying to cross. Oh my gosh, Costco is. I try to stay away from Costco. Well, I don't have a membership because it's too packed. That place is like, you have to have your tactical gear on just to get through. Randy's headed to Galveston, Texas. Galveston, Texas is super spooky, I heard. In fact, I keep seeing articles saying that Texas is like the most haunted state. Manda Panda said work, but I'm a chef, so it's pretty fun. Oh, that's cool, Manda Panda. Randy goes, found a ghost tour that allows dogs for. Oh, cool. Were you able? How was it, Randy? Matthew goes, a ghost made Steph lose her audio. Or I saw someone mention that on Telegram. That's crazy. Someone said my ghost went to Steph. It happens. We all have technical difficulties. Vic says nothing, just been lazy and foraged in my food in the kitchen. Couple days off from work and just enjoying it. Super awesome. That's kind of what I do on my days off sometimes because a lot of times I'm exhausted when I get home. Jen goes, I went with a friend who had a membership. That's usually what I do when I go to Costco. Carbonized Stardust, what's up? I love Costco. It's the free way of shopping, and I drive like it's the freeway. Bernadette goes, yep, no man's help, just little old me and YouTube. Well, my son did help over the phone, so one man's help. Well, hey, that's pretty awesome. He helped you, Bernadette. YouTube actually is very informative when it comes to fixing things. I use it a lot for that. Randy says go to Costco on a Monday night 1 hour before it closes. Rochelle, I should do that because every time I drive, well, I don't have a membership, but every time I have a Sam's Club membership, and it's not as bad as Costco, but I feel like Costco has better things than Sam's Club, but I I avoid the crowds with Sam's Club. Rochelle, what's going on? Randy goes, I will be there tomorrow. Randy, let me know how it went. That sounds super cool. Melissa, I saw the craziness on Telegram all week. I'm glad Frankie was found. I heard about Andy. It was just one of those weeks. Carbonized Stardust goes, YouTube taught me how to fix a strip screw hole. Thank you, YouTube. Bernadette goes, YouTube didn't help. I used my Latina anger and it worked. D Nights, what's up? Rochelle goes, went on a binge watch on Netflix last 2 days on spooky shows and movies. I haven't had time to watch anything lately. Sucks. I haven't even gotten to the new Ghost Adventures. I only got into 30 minutes of it. And I was like, it's on Angel's Island off the coast of San Francisco, which sounded super cool. Tyranna! What's up? You wouldn't even know I'm tired. Carbonized Stardust is currently rewatching Supernatural. Needed a Dean fix. I actually been watching Don't Laugh, 90 Day Fiance. Don't laugh. I don't know why I'll get hooked to that. Iva, what's up? Mandy, how's it going? Allison. Bernadette goes, Chloe says, what's up, Gary, Larry, Jerry, and others? Rochelle goes, between you, Lewis, Andy, Kim, Melcher, Steph, you are all great. Hard to keep up watching all of you. Life is so busy, but love your stuff. You all seem like nice people. Thank you, Rochelle. Michelle is watching Golden Bachelor with my mom and daughter. Cool. Diane, what's up? It's a show, Will. It's a show on well, it's on HBO Max. Well, it's on Discovery Plus too. And it's about people that hook up with people on a K1. Well, no, it depends, because there's the Other Way show. There's there's so many spin-offs of it, but basically the main gist of it is couples getting married within 90 days. So their other half is in another country and they come here on a K1 visa and they have to get married in 90 days. Or the other way around, where they're in another country and the fiance moves to their country. And I don't know why I like watching it, because Americans, when they don't understand other cultures. So I think that's kind of why I kind of like to watch it. Like, that's where, and you see them fighting. I'm like, dude, that's what their culture is. Like, learn your culture. Nerd Report! Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Tyranna, Amanda Panda, Spirit of the Trees, Peg, Marciana. Oh my God, the chat went away. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. Hearts for Nerd Report, guys. Lewis Ricks, what's up? Yes, Wake Sheepberry, I am live. Nerd Report, thank you also for being a member for 6 months. Saying who's matching my gifts. Hearts for Nerd Report. And it's funny, I'm wearing Nerd Report merch. Jen, thank you for becoming a member. Hearts for Jen as well. If you guys would like merch, both, I have merch as well. Nerd Report has merch, so please check out both of our merch stores. I happen to be wearing a Nerd Report shirt today, and they are awesome quality. You will not be disappointed. I was actually impressed myself. Jen, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Lewis Ricks, B.S. Stone, Project Metal Music, Margie Rodriguez, Osiris. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. You were all gifted a membership by Jen, Hearts for Jen, and welcome all the new members. Just remember that your membership is good for 1 month. And if you guys want to check out my merch, Will has dropped the link in the chat. So if you guys would like to take a gander there to check it out. And then let me put my alien love making music in the background. Thanks to Bernadette, that's what I'm calling it. I don't want it to drowning me out. Alright. What's up, Mr. Ruck Gaming? How's it going? Wendy, what's up? That way y'all know I'm still alive and I didn't freeze. Cause that's what I think happens when someone stops talking. Rochelle goes, well, it seems like it's more like skeleton love making music the way the skeletons keep popping up all over. I have an obsession with skeleton guys. I have no idea. It just came out of nowhere. Lisa Boo, what's up? Oh my, that's what they listen to get the food. Yes, it is. It's a great tune. I don't know how you could get in the mood with that, but hey, to each his own. Lewis Ricks goes alien strip. Randy goes, so you think Galveston is really haunted? There is apparently, I believe, I had gone over an article about, there's a Walmart there, Randy, apparently, that in Galveston that is haunted, that was built at I believe it was an orphanage, and a hurricane hit and it was destroyed. And they're saying things move on their own. I think everywhere is haunted. I think it was anywhere with history has to be haunted. I think it does. I believe any place there's a possibility that it could be haunted. There could be energies there. Like it could necessarily not be an active haunting. Could be residual haunting, just like memories of what you once was there in a place. I do believe in that. Dryden goes, Grayson, do you cover alien stuff too? I recorded some strange lights last week on Saturday and the last time. Sometimes I do, Dryden. It's not my cup of tea. I'm more of a paranormal, but I do cover UFOs every once in a while because they do. It's pretty much the unexplained, paranormal, and UFOs all kind of go in the same category. So I kind of. Dryden, I think he has an email address. Guys, do you know Nerd Report's email address? If you want to send it over to him, because he does more UFOs, but I do them too. So I don't mind if you want to send it to me as well, or whoever you want to send it to, I'm up to. My email is graysonreport13@gmail.com. Bernadette dropped Nerd Report's email if you want to send your UFO stories. I knew it was Nerd Report 51, but I couldn't. If you want to drop a UFO story to Nerd Report. But whoever you want to send it to, I'm fine with. But as like I said, Nerd Report's more of the UFO and aliens. I do cover them every once in a while if I do find an interesting article. Sound surgeons, you mean replays or we want rewinds of certain events? I've seen those. Yes, that's what I mean. Thanks, Jen, though, for dropping by. I appreciate it. Louisa's life, what is up? Wake Shapeberry, I'm not really into UFOs. I'm not either, but I'm always trying to, if I find an interesting article, well, I like aliens, obviously, because I got Gary here, but I do like aliens, don't get me wrong, I do believe on life on other planets, but I'm more into the paranormal and unexplained. But if I do find an article that I find interesting, I feel like the camera's too high. I do share it. Spirit of the Trees, what's up? I do share it if I do, and it's usually something like trying to where it dives into the scientific reasonings to UFOs and how they could be real, or I usually do that because I'm always trying to find proof. Bernadette with Gary with the huge briefcase. Yes, he does. Wendy goes, I'm a spooky witchy girl. I had a little witch my coworker gave me, and I was supposed to put it in the background, and I left it in the other room. Oops. Hey, Randy, if you don't mind me asking, what type of dog do you have? And then, guys, we'll get into, I'm going to start off with Ghost in the News. I just want to make sure I say hi to y'all. Louisa, I hate when that happens. Laptop spacebar sticking. That's the worst because it's a laptop. Luckily for me, I haven't had, but I've had it happen before, but not recently. Gunner Girl's asking how my weekend's going so far. It's good. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna sleep after the stream. I am so tired. Cheryl, I am still undecided because Rochelle gave me the idea. Gave me an idea, and I kind of was looking into it. But it requires me to go back to school, which I already went to school for it in the first place. So I'm kind of like, but I went to school for it 20 years ago. Randy goes 14 pounds of sass. Louisa, definitely. I would get, if you need one, I would get one. Wendy, that was what I was thinking of doing. I was thinking about asking the stars for guidance. Because I am super undecided. Julissa! What's up? Get lots of rest, Lisa. Thank you. That's usually kind of what I do on my days off. I sleep. My sleep is precious. At the beginning of the week, I'm still tired, but not as tired. But then I get, by the end of the week, I'm done. Wendy, the problem is my credentials expired because I never renewed them. So, D Nice with the dowsing rod crew. So I'm still undecided with that. Rochelle goes, it is worth it always, Lisa, when you know the long-term goal is always is going to be your happiness soul to take a whole year or whatever time it takes to get to that point that you want to reach that. That's what I'm thinking. Shiloh Toto, what's up? Glad you were able to make it. Diane goes, it takes strength to change directions. It does. It really does. Bernadette goes, did you manifest with the full moon? I did, and my roommates thought I was casting spells or something. No, actually, the full moon does not really affect me, to believe it or not. But I do feel a calming with it. But I didn't go out in the rain. I should have gone out in it. The next one I will. Usually I go out in it for a bit, but this time I didn't. I know what you mean, Wendy. Randy goes, intention is everything. I agree. D Nice with the hashtag Lisa full-time in 2024. That is my goal, so that I can bring more videos. I did find a way to keep to do some standalone videos in the meantime, pre-record stuff. That way I still do have content for you guys to see, and that seems to be working a little bit. Jennifer Murray goes, I work in the medical field, and the full moon always brings a lot of uninteresting interactions with patients. I heard that when I was way back in the day, when I was so like a grandparent going, way back in my day, we didn't no, way back in the day, I was a sheriff's explorer, and I remember whenever the full moon, we would always go, oh my god, it's a full moon, it's gonna be crazy tonight. Wendy goes, I am affected by Mercury in retrograde, messes me up for real. The funny thing, Wendy, it doesn't really affect me, but it does a little bit, but not that much. Shiloh Toto says, my grandson's 25th birthday is this Friday during the blood moon, and Friday the 13th, the first Friday he celebrated, Friday the 13th, was when he turned the terrible twos. It too was the full moon. We were scared. Wow. Bernadette with the Lisa full-time 2024 and hashtag Lewis for president 2024. That is super cool, Bernadette. But it's weird. I don't get affected by it too much until after. Then I'll be like, okay, I was affected by it a little bit. Like, I don't realize I'm getting affected by something until after. Jennifer goes, I am more prone to insomnia during a full moon, but I think that's about it. Lately, I haven't really been sleeping too well because my schedule's like this. And they say for you to sleep decent, you have to have like where you wake up and go to sleep at the same time. Wendy is a 20-year nurse. I got stories about the full moon. D-Nice only gets affected by change in weather, atmospheric pressure. And this heat we're having, this heat wave we're having is crazy. But at least it stays kind of cool at night, so it's not that bad. Chris, what is up? Louisa, sometimes I have to take a nap too. But it's weird, right when I'm about to go to bed, I'm wide awake. I don't know if that happens to you guys. That's why I always say I'm a night owl that has to wake up early. Because literally, when I'm about to go to bed, I'm wide awake. It's like my brain starts, I don't know, like at night, I tend to be more productive, which is weird. Yes, Randy. Like when I get home, I'm exhausted. Like, even today. Even right before the stream, I'm dozing off because I'm exhausted. Chris Barber goes, it's freezing here in Ohio. We're having 100-degree weather here in California. Or I think it was like 97. Jennifer Marie's having humidity. I cannot stand that. And it's so bad at my lunch break, I'm like dozing off. So I have to stand up and start walking around. Cheryl King also says bedtime comes and I'm wide awake. It is so hot, and Chris is in the low 40s. This is so weird. Mama One goes, when the barometric pressure drops, rises a lot. Some major drainage and tend to wake up in the middle of the night because my throat is clogged. It's scary, but now I have a bed that I can raise my head. I kind of have to prop my head up too, or my nose gets all stuffed up. Rochelle, I tried a mushroom coffee and I didn't feel, because they said it gives you energy. I didn't feel any energy, but I never tried like an actual like mushroom powder though. Listen to something. Randy's saying listen to something positive half an hour before you go to bed. Lavender on your pillow will help. I will try that, Randy. Bandit Panda goes, it's 44 right now in Chattanooga. Oh my gosh, you guys are actually having fall weather. Gunner Girls is exactly like me. When I try to sleep, a switch comes in and I think about it. It's like you're like, oh, I gotta do this, and like all of a sudden it's like you can think. Like during the day, it's like your mind stays dormant. It's weird. Alright guys, whoa, we are gonna get into Ghost in the News. I have a few articles from Ghost in the News. And then we'll get into ghost stories from Reddit. I love ghost stories, so if you guys have your own ghost story, or articles, I have 2 articles that Diane and Water Dragon has sent me that I'm going to share with you guys. I also have a story from Eastern Arkansas Transparency that he sent me 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't able to read it, so I'm going to read it. So if you guys have a story, it could be the unexplained, could be UFO related, can be ghost, a paranormal experience, email me at graysonreport13@gmail.com and I will share it on my next stream or one of my next live streams. Just let me know if you don't want me to share it. But we're going to start off with Ghost in the News. This one's from the Daily Star, and it says, Star Trek legend lived in a haunted house with groaning ghosts who chucked books around. Star Trek icon Sir Patrick Stewart has revealed he lived in a haunted house in Los Angeles, home to a ghost who groaned and threw books around the house. Star Trek legend Patrick Stewart revealed that this is like the weirdest articles that pop up on these things. It's distracting me. Star Trek legend Patrick Stewart has revealed he lived in a haunted house with a ghost that chucked books and groaned. The actor, Captain Jean-Luc Picard in the hit sci-fi series, said odd things happened after he bought the property in Los Angeles when he was filming The Next Generation. Sir Patrick, 83, said, returning home one evening, I opened the door to the master bedroom. Immediately, my nostrils filled with the smell of something roasting in the kitchen, 1 floor down. I thought that I must have left the oven on when I went to bed the night before, so I hurried down the stairs to the kitchen, where the smell was even stronger. Yet, the stove was not even turned on, and the oven was cold and empty. Things took a scarier turn when his actor son Daniel came to stay, and he came home to find him clearly freaked out. Patrick continued. He led me down into the living room where the floor was scattered with books that had obviously come from the shelves lining the wall. Dan told me he had been watching TV when the books suddenly flew across the room as if thrown with great force. The incident scared him so badly that he left the house and returned only when he knew I would soon be home. He would never again spend a night in the house alone. Then the noises began. The sound of voices coming from a room that was empty. The sound of footsteps on the stairs when nobody was using them. Every night as I crossed the first floor hall to go upstairs to the bedroom floor, at a point just before the first step, the temperature of the space abruptly turned icy. As soon as I put my foot on the first step, it went back to normal. I had an urge to look over my shoulder, but I never dared. In his new book, Making It So, Sir Patrick also says he later rented the place to a young couple who told him they had similar eerie experiences hearing mystery voices and footsteps. They added that their daughter also saw a shadowy male figure standing in the hall just at the foot of the stairs. Guys, so what do you think of Sir Patrick Stewart's encounter with a ghostly visitor in his home? Chris Barber goes, I use lavender for my neuropathy. Works pretty good. I actually do have lavender, but it's in like a scent thing. Cheryl King goes, oh my gosh, that would be spooky. Luis's life goes awesome. Wink Shapeberry goes cool. Julius is like, that's so cool. Wendy goes creepy if true. Jennifer Marie goes, sounds like a lot of experiences I've had also. Jennifer Marie with the ads. I know the ads are crazy on those things. I can't stand them. Chris Barber, no, it's weird. The 40s in Ohio is weird because in Southern California, we're having 100-degree weather. That's what I was saying was weird. Jennifer Marie goes, I think I read yours. Tyrana goes spooky. Elaine goes creepy. Randy, that is super cool. Chris Barber goes, I like Patrick Stewart. He's cool. I was a big fan of The Next Generation. I used to watch it all the time. So I kind of thought that article was kind of cool. Even his son didn't want to stay in the house after that. Just imagine you're watching TV and a bunch of books just come flinging off the shelves. Oh my gosh, that has to be creepy. D-Nice! Thank you for the super chat. Spooky super chat train. Choo-boo! Choo-boo! Thank you, D-Nice. Hearts for D-Nice, guys. Cheryl goes, I live in Tasmania. We have 4 seasons in one day. We can have that too sometimes here in California. Wake Shaftberry would say Sir Patrick wouldn't make that up. I don't think. What reason does he have to make it up? Jennifer Marie, thank you for the super chat. Keep the train going. Hearts for Jennifer Marie and D-Nice, guys. Thank you for the support. As my voice cracks. Gene Rick, what's up? Wally, how's it going? Alright, the next article I have from Ghost in the News, or where I Google Ghost in the News and see what pops up. It is Randy. This is from Coast to Coast. And it is Ghost film at spot where famed Argentine singer perished in a car accident. An eerie video out of Argentina shows a puzzling white anomaly near the spot where a car accident took the life of a famous singer in the country. Cheryl! Thank you for the super chat. Hearts for Cheryl. Choo choo. And she's continuing the super chat train. So an eerie video out of Argentina shows a puzzling white anomaly near the spot where a car accident took the life of a famous singer in the country, and some suspect that the curious form could be his ghost. According to a local media report, famed musician Huguito Flores tragically perished in a head-on crash while en route to perform at a festival last month. A few days after his unexpected passing, a motorist traveling by the scene of the accident, where the truck which struck his vehicle remained, looked over at the spot and noticed something unusual at the site. To the driver's surprise, a ghostly anomaly appeared next to the wrecked truck on the side of the highway, and as the motorist passed the scene, the oddity seemingly vanished into thin air. Upon being posted on social media in Argentina, the video quickly went viral, with many suggesting that the white form was Flores' ghost. However, not everyone was convinced that the motorist filmed the musician's spirit, as more skeptical observers argued that the apparition was merely a water tank. What do you make of the spooky video? So this is... I don't know if I can make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? Oh, wait a minute. I was watching it. I like to start videos in the middle of it. That's crazy that they would leave the truck there. And I guess they are pointing out this white... So guys, what do you think of that? Do you think it's the spirit of Flores? Or do you think it's a reflection? I still think it's weird that they just leave the truck there on the side of the road. Marcella's in the house. Iva, my PayPal. Guys, can you drop my PayPal link? Gene Rick, thank you for the super sticker. Hearts for Gene Rick. Mods, can you drop my PayPal link? It doesn't. D Nice is asking how long was it left there. I am not sure. But it's saying like a month. The person had perished in a car accident a month ago. Iva! Okay, now I know it. I got you. Iva, thank you, because it was just a little delayed. Iva, thank you for your PayPal. I will pay extra for a 2X t-shirt like I did for Lewis's shirt. How you get rested tonight after the show. Much love to you, Lisa. Thank you, Iva. Hearts for Iva. My phone was just delayed. Now I got what you were saying, Iva. Sorry. I'm tired. But as I was saying, they were saying that the accident had occurred a month prior. So that car has been sitting there for a month. And guys, have you seen Marcella's kitty. So cute. So precious. I love cats. I do. Trying to make sure. Mama goes. Mama 1. Let me see if. Water tanks do not have feet and they do not disappear when as he gets closer. And doesn't just disappear when you drive by. And then Luisa says it just disappeared as he got closer. Wendy's saying it was chopped. Lenore, what's up? I'm allergic to cats, so I have dogs. Nothing wrong with that. I love dogs too. Marcella saying kitty needs a name. Any suggestions welcomed? So if you guys have a suggestion for Marcella's kitty for a name. Bernadette, that's a sweet name. I don't know. The way that video, it's hard to tell. Because, I mean, it could be a reflection. Because you know how sometimes when you're filming and it catches something? Chris Barber goes, I'm a dog person myself, but I do love cats. I love all animals. I even like the possums that come in my backyard. I hate it when I turn the lights on to my backyard and then the possum goes and then runs. I'm like, no, you don't have to run. Cheryl King reflection. I want to say it's a reflection, but considering it was standing next to the wreckage, which is weird that they just leave it there a month after. That wasn't even the vehicle he was driving. It was the vehicle that crashed into him, and they just left it there. That's crazy. Louisa, life goes same here. I've mostly seen foxes and I get raccoons in my front yard. I see them on my camera. And skunks. I like to, it's weird with the skunks. I'll see them and I'll go, like I'll do like a hissing sound and then go like this. Diane goes, I like to use the initials of the area I lived in for the names of my cats. Started when I was a kid. That is super cool, Diane. Wink Shapeberry goes, Wolverines are cool and scary. Chris goes, my dog's name is Gilligan. He was rescued with another named Skipper. Cool. Marcella also loves I love possums. I just love possums. I don't know what it is about them. They're so sweet. Even though they're scared of you kind of, but I feel like they're just such a innocent animal. Ah, Dean, nice. I hope you're feeling better. I heard that you were sick in Telegram, but I hope you're on the mend. Iva goes, I have Abby, Charlie, Oreo, Rena, Zona, Mia, and Peaches. Beautiful names, Iva. Julissa possums are hilarious. I love their cross eyes. Randy loves all animals. Louisa we had one in our boat when I was married to my ex. Marcella goes, they are blind. I did not know they were blind. Oh, that's I did not know. Oh my gosh, Rochelle. Bernadette goes, no Peaches is a stripper name. It's a cute name, Bernadette. I don't see Water Dragon in the chat, but I did have an article that, or it could be an article too. I had an article that Water Dragon sent me through my email. And it's actually kind of interesting, so I wanted to share it with y'all. And it is I'm trying to see what the site is. Wyoming? What does it say? W.Y. Burns Board. Okay, this one says Samhain, the ancient Gaelic festival that inspired Halloween around the world. As the leaves turn crimson and the air goes crisp, the world begins to prepare for one of the most beloved and spine-tingling celebrations of the year, Halloween. But do you know where the bewitching tradition truly began? To kick off our Halloween Around the World series, we traveled back in time to uncover the roots of Halloween in the ancient Gaelic festival of Samhain. Samhain, pronounced as Samhain, was a prominent Gaelic festival celebrated by the Celts in what is now Ireland, Scotland, and parts of Wales. This hauntingly beautiful tradition marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It fell on the night of October 31st, and like modern-day Halloween, it was a time when the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to blur. The Celts believed that on Samhain, the veil separating our world from the spirit realm grew thin, allowing spirits, both benevolent and malevolent, to roam freely. To honor and appease these spirits, the Celts held grand bonfires, feasts, and ceremonies. They also dressed in costumes made from animal hides and heads, a practice that foreshadows our modern costume tradition. One of the most fascinating aspects of Samhain was the practice of divination. It was believed that on the night, one could catch glimpses of the future or communicate with the deceased. People would often throw nuts in the bonfire, each nut representing question or concern. The way they burned would reveal answers and insights. When Christianity spread through the Celtic land, Samhain transformed into All Hallows Eve, the precursor to Halloween. The church attempted to Christianize the pagan holiday by dedicating November 1st to honoring saints and martyrs, a day known as All Saints' Day. October 31st thus became All Hallows Eve, eventually shortened to Halloween. Over the centuries, Halloween continued to evolve, absorbing customs and traditions from various cultures. It sailed across the Atlantic to the United States, where it morphed into the vibrant trick-or-treating extravaganza we know today. As we embark on our Halloween journey around the world, it's important to remember that this beloved holiday has deep roots in the ancient Gaelic festival of Samhain. So this October 31st, when you can carve your pumpkin, don your spooky costume, and greet the spirits of Halloween, know that you're partaking in a tradition that has spanned millennia and continues to enchant and bewitch people worldwide. Stay tuned for more eerie adventures in our Halloween Around the World series. And I believe this was part 1. Guys, what did you think of that article shared to me by Water Dragon? Too bad Water Dragon is not in the chat. Wendy goes, I like this. Lenore goes, I've always loved the Celts. Brandon goes, sounds like Dia de los Muertos. I know, I was thinking the same thing. Jennifer Marie goes, I love that article. Wendy goes, thanks, Water Dragon. Tyrana goes, cool article. Rochelle goes, thank you, Water Dragon. I hope, Water Dragon, you catch this on the replay. Thank you for that article. It was super interesting for sharing that article with me. D Nice, that was a good one. Bernadette goes, I like that article. Very interesting. Diane goes, that's so cool. Didn't know how we came up with Halloween in this country. I didn't know either. So that was I knew it was a pagan holiday to begin with, but I didn't know where it, like the story behind it. Chris Barber, I will take your 40s. 40 degrees. Julissa goes, good article. Chris Barber goes, me too. Good story. Iva goes, me too. That was a really interesting article. Gunnar Gold goes, love it. I'm more educated now. I also have an article from Diane. It's not really a spooky article, but it does mention spooky in the title. So, hey, why not? All right, this is from Big Island News, Video News. It goes, volcano watch. Hawaii volcanoes quiet. Scientists say it's a bit spooky. I'm going to share it anyway because it's interesting. Hawaii volcanoes are not currently erupting, and during this period of inactivity, scientists reflect on the quiet. Here in Hawaii, we don't have the dramatically changing leaf colors and brisk temperatures that mark the arrival of fall. And as October arrived this year, our night skies were dark with no warm orange glow indicative of lava erupting on the surface. Kaleu's most recent eruption stopped on September 16th. This was the briefest of the 5 eruptions that has occurred at the summit of Kalea since 2020. The eruption lasted about 6 days, and like the 4 eruptions before it, filled in a portion of the summit that collapsed in 2018. Though K is one of the Earth's most active volcanoes, periods of time with no eruptive activity on the surface are not uncommon. Since 2020, there have been periods lasting weeks to several months between eruptions and during which there is no active lava on the surface. Prior to the recent summit eruptions, Kalea did erupt for over 2 years following the large Lower East Rift Zone eruption in 2018. Looking back at Kalea's eruptive history over the past couple hundred years, periods of weeks or to months or even sometimes years between eruptions are relatively common. The longest period without any Kalea eruptions over the past 200 years was abnormally long and lasted 18 years. For USGS Hawaiian Volcano Observatory HVO staff, these non-eruptive periods offer a bit of respite from the flurry of activity that comes with responding to increased unrest or a new eruption. However, because our volcanoes erupt so frequently, these quiet periods also come with a bit of unease. HVO staff ask themselves questions such as how long will it be until the volcano erupts again? Where and when will the next eruption take place? HVO's monitoring network helps us to evaluate the answers to these questions. The monitoring network continuously tracks activity beneath the surface despite the surface itself appearing still. Right now, recent ground deformation south of Kalea summit is beginning to slow, but an increased number of earthquakes are being detected in the region due to seismic swarm. The rift zones of Kalea, along with other active volcanoes in Hawaii, including Mauna Loa, remain quiet. We expect to see changes to these monitoring parameters when any Hawaii's active volcanoes begin to show sign of unrest. Though Hawaii's Carol, what's up? Though Hawaii's volcanoes currently aren't erupting, other volcanoes around the world remain active. Here in the United States, Great Siskin and Shishaldin are erupting in Alaska, generating lava flows and ash plumes in the remote Aleutian Islands. Multiple volcanoes are active in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ecuador, Indonesia, Japan, the Philippines, and Russia. Individual volcanoes are also active in Chile, Ethiopia, Italy, Mexico, and Papua New Guinea. Elsewhere in the world, volcanoes can also cause unease even when not erupting. In Italy, there is increased earthquake activity at Campi Flegrei, a caldera that includes part of the city of Naples. The dense population of people living in the vicinity of this volcano center has garnered much attention, and the situation is complicated by evacuations during previous periods of unrest there, which did not escalate the eruptions. Eruptions in Hawaii over the past 5 years have fortunately offered safe viewing, have not required evacuations, have only minimally impacted infrastructures. However, communities living on the flanks of the Hawaii's active volcanoes should always be prepared for the range of activity that Hawaii volcanoes can exhibit. You and your family can be better prepared for one of the many natural hazards that can impact islands of Hawaii residents by taking some time now when it's quiet to visit the Hawaii County Civil Defense website on preparedness. Though the skies above Hawaiian volcanoes are dark right now, they will certainly be lit up by the glow of eruptions in the future. Thank you, Diane, for that article. So, guys, what did you think of that article? I know it wasn't spooky, but it kind of, I see how a volcano being quiet can cause unease, considering, as it says, they're always erupting. So when they're quiet, it's kind of like if someone's quiet, all of a sudden you think they're up to no good. So it's kind of, I feel like it's something like that. So it's kind of cool. Cheryl Kingo's volcano eruptions looks awesome, but can be deadly. D Nice goes, it was interesting. Lisa Boo, what's up? Great article. Rochelle goes, yes, thank you for sharing, Diane. Elaine goes, it was good article, interesting. Wake Sheep Berry goes, Hawaii, give me a cocktail. Wendy saying, I'm young in spirit and heart. I don't define myself by age. That's true. Age is just a number. Marcella goes, volcanoes up to no good. Yes. So I can see why they say them being quiet is spooky. Diane goes, pronounce Kilauea. Thank you, Diane. I knew I was pronouncing it Kilauea. Kilauea. I knew I wasn't pronouncing it right. Thank you, Diane. D Nice is going rodent hiding in a volcano ready to tackle Godzilla. Alright, guys, I got one more article and then we'll go into the ghost stories. on Reddit. I hadn't done a Reddit ghost story thread in a while, and I was like, we'll see what pops up. I kind of like Reddit because it's actually actual people. And I also have a story from Arkansas Transparency, which I don't see in the chat, but hope you're listening. So after this article, which is in Florida, the Dead Zone, I-4, named one of the most haunted roads in America. Daytona Beach, Florida. The I-4 is known for its traffic jams, endless construction, and crashes. But is it haunted? Well, legend has it that at least one stretch is by the St. Johns River Bridge, which connects Seminole and Volusia County, and the spooky history dates back to the late 1800s. The story goes that a group of immigrants who were Swiss and German settled on land near the bridge. That colony was plagued by tragedy, including yellow fever, and there was a cemetery there to honor their loved ones. It's a cemetery that presumably got moved over when the I-4 was built decades ago. Ever since then, there has been something that people say is causing accidents. People say it's bad luck, Varney Pierce with Sea Green's Haunted History Museum said. Right down the road in Casadega, the spiritualist community, they hear firsthand accounts all the time. Tina Green owns the Haunted History Museum and says that stretch of I-4 even has a name, the I-4 Dead Zone. Florida Highway Patrol says in the last 10 years, there has been 26 deadly crashes in the area, and people have reported seeing a ghost. People are going down I-4, crossing the big bridge from Volusia to Seminole County, and they will see apparitions of a woman walking down the side of the road. Usually, they say she's in a white gown, and they pull over to pick her up, and she's gone, Green said. Is I-4 haunted by ghosts or haunted by bad drivers? There could be one way to find out. Help the ghost find peace. Go through that extra effort to make that contact, find out the source of their pain, and help them find a way to get past it, spiritualist Jerry Moore said. Unless someone comes up with a better plan, the legend of the ghosts on I-4 lives on in Volusia County. Ooh. Guys, have any of you been down that highway in Florida? Wake Shape Barry goes, ooh, if you go there, drive slow. I probably won't drive on that, but I was just wondering if anybody's been in that area. Rochelle says, never been there. Wally goes, no. But apparently they see a woman in white. Wendy goes, nunca. Louisa, life, nope. Tyranna goes, that would be creepy. That would be. It's to the point where I probably wouldn't drive because it says deadly crashes. It's not just a crash, it's a deadly crash. So they don't know if it's bad. What do you guys think? Do you think it's bad drivers just driving? I don't know what the highway looks like. Do you guys think it's bad drivers, or do you think it's a curse? Iva says cursed. Matthew! Matthew, have you ever heard of the I-4? The dead zone? Tyranna says curse. Jennifer goes, I need more info, such as what it looks like. That's what I'm thinking. I need more info because I don't know what it looks like. Wake Shapeberry goes, hard to say, depends. That is so cool, Julissa. My daughter just came home and interrupted her stream. She walked in with a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Her friend asked her to homecoming and she hopes he doesn't like her. Hey, beautiful bouquet of flowers, though. Come on. Brandon goes interstate dangerous regardless. That sounds good, Matthew. Julissa goes, she said yes to him. Hey, that's cool. Super cool. Alright, guys, I have a story that Arkansas Transparency sent me. I am not sure if they are in the chat or listening. So it starts off one day. Myself, two of my cousins, and my older brother were all jumping on our trampoline. My parents were sitting on the pecan tree swing drinking coffee close by. We were playing a bouncing game, trying to bounce the person in the middle super high. I was in the middle of the trampoline as the test dummy. They were all jumping around and trying to coordinate a perfectly timed triple jump. I kept getting bounced up only about 7 feet, so we kept trying to get the perfect high bounce. After a lot of tries, my two cousins and my brother finally jumped together and bounced me really high in the air. I flew high and somehow I kept going up. All of a sudden, I was soaring through the sky at a really high rate of speed, going straight up towards space. My cousins and my brother stopped jumping after I didn't come back. They started looking around. They actually thought I bounced up and landed on the ground somewhere close and got hurt. My parents started calling for me. They all started looking around the yard and hovering for me when they didn't see me. My mom ran in the ghost house and started looking for me, and my father ran around the ghost house twice looking and hollering for me. They didn't find anything, so my father jumped in his truck and started driving down all the apple peach orchard roads around the property. And then he rode all the way to the highway and back looking for me, half a mile away. He didn't see anything, so he came back and called his brothers to see if I went to either one of their houses. They live on both sides of my haunted property, but nobody had seen me. My parents went back to the tree swing and waited for my uncle to come over to help look. My cousins and my brother were sitting on the side of the trampoline. They stopped jumping after I went missing. It had been over 10 minutes since I disappeared. When I bounced up, I started screaming when I saw how high I was flying upwards. Then I blinked, and when looked again, I saw a ton of trees and fields everywhere below me. I was falling back down towards the ground fast, and I started screaming again. My eyes were open wide because of my fear of heights and falling. I saw the top of all the local trees. I saw all the fields surrounding the area of my property. I saw the whole area, and I was falling back toward the ground fast. I was falling directly toward the middle of the trampoline. I actually landed right in the middle of the trampoline and bounced at least 10 feet high. I bounced again a few more times and I nearly landed on my cousin. Everyone was instantly mad at me. They thought I was hiding somewhere the whole time and refused to come back when they were all calling. I told them they bounced me all the way into space and that I fell from space back down onto the trampoline. Obviously, they didn't believe it, and I got a good whooping for hiding. But I really did disappear for over 10 minutes into the thin air while I was in the middle of the air. It's still a mystery what happened. I like to think logically, and the only thing that makes sense is a UFO grabbed me in midair, because I don't remember anything besides flying high into the air and then coming back down. I used to think I slipped into the ghost dimension, but that was before I knew what UFOs were and what they can do. I didn't disappear into a weird dimension, and nobody saw any ghosts that day. Instead, I flew high up and then came back down. Sounds like UFO stuff to me. I have zero other explanations that make sense. I don't think it was ghost related at all. Every ghost encounters people have had on the property were all physical ghosts. The ghosts can interact with the environment and can also bring materials from their ghost world, like those burning logs and the antique cauldron in the attic. We definitely didn't have a cauldron that big or random logs up there. Somehow they appeared like a mirage. They were able to do all kinds of stuff. Then after the ghosts are finished haunting us, the mirage disappears and all the stuff they damaged and destroyed was actually restored back to normal, like it never ever happened. If they kept bothering me, I always used my fully loaded pump trespasser annihilator and blasted them. It would almost always destroy the ghost mirage. I used to carry it with me everywhere just to blast them. So guys, what do you think of that story? Jennifer Marie goes, sounds like a glimpse of the Matrix. Chris Barber goes, freaky story. Wink Shapberry says Pete Crenshaw. Rochelle saying the story's a good one. Spirit of the Trees, interesting. Luis's life, wow. Wendy goes, remember when parent? I know, not anymore, Wendy. D Nice goes, interesting. Cheryl, very interesting, pretty cool. Spirit of the Trees says. It's like, I don't know if you guys saw, if you guys watched Totally Killer on Prime, and how she goes, I don't want to kind of give it away for those that haven't seen it, but the differences between back then and now, yeah. Jalissa goes, yes, a glitch in the Matrix. Iva, I believe. Tyranna, good, interesting story. It was shared by Eastern Arkansas Transparency. Hopefully you're listening or will hear this on the replay. Thank you for sharing your story. D Nice does not have Prime. How could you not have Prime, D Nice? No, I'm just kidding. Elaine goes, interesting. Diane goes, how could they just appear out of nowhere? Matthew has not seen the movie yet, but plan to. Jennifer Marie goes, that movie was so funny. I had so much fun watching it. But that wasn't a cool story. So thank you, Eastern Arkansas Transparency, again. But definitely times has changed. For sure. Oh, that's cool, Matthew. Cool beans. I say cool beans, too. All right, guys, who's ready for ghost stories? I have not read ghost stories in a minute. Chris Barber goes, me! D Nice goes, hashtag me. Oh, that's cool, Matthew. Elaine's raising her hand. Bernadette goes, I say cool beans at work, and they are like, what does that mean? Tyrannid's going, me. Alright, guys, it's been a minute since I've gone through Reddit to look at their ghost stories. Carol's going, me. Whoa, that's crazy, Rochelle. I'll have to look that up. I don't think I've I heard about that one. That is crazy. All right, this is the ghost stories thread on Reddit. I mean, not all of them. I noticed not all of them are ghost stories, so I'll skip through the ones that aren't. Because when I was looking through this, some of them were asking, is there a psychic out there? I'll have to check that out, Rochelle. I don't think I've heard about that one. Well, this one's my best friend and I saw a human figure shapeshift into a black cat. I'm wondering if anyone out there has had similar experience, because I was wondering what the F we saw till my last day on the mysterious planet. The heck? There's no room for maybe the light was playing tricks on you, or you were just tripping. We were sober. Her headlights were shining right on the thing. The chills I got were awful because I don't get the sense we were supposed to see whatever it was. It's also maddening because she refuses to talk about it since, because it scared her so much, and I think she wants to try and forget it ever happened. Anyway, stay spooky, gang. Thanks for reading. All right, that wasn't really a story, but but hey. So apparently they saw a human figure shapeshift into a cat. It is spooky season, so Jennifer Murray goes, I'm confused, so what did they see? I'm assuming because of the title, they saw a human figure that shaped into a black into a black cat. Because they were like, we saw this thing. Louisa goes, we had a white cat that completely turned black, or vice versa. I was too young, but have pictures of it in both ways. Oh, that's crazy. Jennifer Marie, I know, I agree. It kind of was like vague. Super vague on that one. I was like, what the heck? Shadow person. I have lived in 2 houses here in Sweden since I moved here in 2006. There's the one that I currently live in now, and the one I lived in for the first 12 years I lived in Sweden. In the last post I made about the last house, I talked about the footsteps I experienced. Today will be about the only visual I've ever had while living in that house. Now, to point out, I didn't experience much activity when I visited the house prior to moving to Sweden in 2006. I didn't experience much even after I moved into the house. It wasn't until 7 years later that I began to experience activity, because this is when my first kid was born. 18 months later, my second child was born. There is a theory that children can cause paranormal activity increase because they have loads of energy which spirits need to help them manifest. A quick background. This last house we lived in had been my SO's grandfather's house. My SO inherited the house after his grandfather died. By the way, his grandfather died in the house as well as the first owner of the house. They both died in their sleep, though when they were over 90, and thus began my experience. It was 4:30 in the morning. There are 3 bedrooms in the house, 2 downstairs and 1 upstairs. One downstairs was for the kids, the other was us. and the one upstairs had been reserved as a guest house. However, the kids and I would sometimes sleep up in the room because it was freezing downstairs. We had a pellet burner, and sometimes the damn thing didn't work right, or it ran out of pellets, which I would fill up in the morning, as I would have to heft up 16-kilogram bags of pellets, go down the stairs to the basement with weak lighting and no railing, which was a safer thing to do in the morning than night. So that would be a reason why the downstairs would be freezing more than the upstairs. Upstairs was a little bit more warmer. Towards the last few months of us living in the house, my significant other would sleep in the guest house so he wouldn't disturb us when he got up to go to work in the morning, which was early. At the time, he worked at a company that was an hour away from where we lived. This would be a reason we would eventually move to the area we live at now. But then he would wake up early and leave around 4:30 in the morning to go to work, where he had to be there by 6 a.m. He would give himself an extra hour to chill out and shower at his job, since a lot of companies here have showers to use, especially if there are factories. However, sometimes he would come up and say goodbye to me before leaving. So one early morning, I awoke to a shadow of someone standing over my bed. I thought initially it was my significant other. I reached up to give him a hug and a kiss. However, as I was reaching up, I noticed that the shadow was taller than my significant other. He is about 5'4", to give you an idea. This shadow was at least 6 foot tall. Suddenly, I thought it was a home intruder, so I gave it a punch. My hand went through it. Not only does my hand go through it, but the shadow disappears just as my fist went through it. Oddly enough, I don't recall feeling anything like coldness as I did that. Had this been an honest-to-God person, I would have saw them making a run to the door as they escaped, or my fist would have made contact, not vanished. The shadow itself didn't have a feature. It reminds me of the face they have on mannequins. After this happened, I shook my head and went, ugh, ghosties at it again, and went back to sleep immediately. I have to disclaim that I have a pretty weird reaction to paranormal activity and ghosts in general. I can sense their presence, even when they aren't doing anything like moving stuff or footsteps. So when they do something like that, or what they did here, I'm not surprised by it. I just mutter, ew, ghosts, or ghosties, or ugh, ghosties are at it again, and go about my day. However, the irony of me seeing that shadow person in that room, that's the room where my significant other grandfather died in. Dun dun dun! So guys, what did you think of that story? Thank you, Shiloh Toto! Vic goes, I've seen these figures in humanoid form and as random masses. Wendy goes, creepy. Julissa goes, that would freak me out. Rochelle said it was good until I did da da da. Iva goes, good one. Wake Shapeberry goes, whoa, cool story. Jennifer Marie, they should give tips to the first person. I know they should. Chris Barber's like, creepy. For sure. Oh, I guess it updated. Someone updated and added a new one above the person with the humanoid figure shape shift into a black cat. The whole story is in the title. Tyrana goes, good story and creepy. I know some people just don't know how to write a story. It's just not in them. So this one is the realest experience I've ever had. Hi everyone, I've had experiences before but could always explain it away. Cold spots, footsteps, shadows, etc. As a kid, I lived in a house I believed was haunted and had a lot of strange instances. Didn't truly believe it until I talked to my stepmother at the time and said that she had also had experiences. My father is skeptic as hell, but even he said that place had something wrong with it. Whatever could say it was just because I was a kid. Cold spots can be many things, yada yada. So with this, I've always believed in spirits, but had never truly felt like I had a fully transparent experience. That was until a few years back. My friends and I were all 19 at the time, and all at one of the friends' houses. It was just the three of us, and had been friends since we were really young. So were and are very close. It was very late, and one of my friends, let's call them Nate, owner of the house, had fallen asleep. So it was just my one friend and I left. All of a sudden, she's getting messages from Nate's family that he needed to check his phone because they needed to talk to him. Long story short, Nate's mother had gotten into an accident and passed. We stayed with Nate until his family came over and then headed home to give them space. One friend and I, let's call them Oliver, went back to my house, sat in the car, and talked. We were in shock and wanted to be together to work through the tragedy together. Sorry if that sounds silly, but I'm not quite sure how to preface that moment. Oliver and I kept talking about how much we love Nate's mom and we're praying for her, saying how much everyone cares for her and how we can't believe that she's gone. All of a sudden, my body went haywire. Goosebumps all over. My body felt completely weightless. I then started to feel something rush through me and tears instantly started flowing. No control, and it truly felt like an energy floated through me. I turned to Oliver and told them what had just happened, with tears still running down when they say they watched it happen. They swore they saw a shadow behind me in the back seat when it first started happening. We both believed it was Nate's mother visiting us to tell us that she was okay now. Sorry if this is long-winded, and I don't mean to sound insensitive to the very horrible situation, but it's so hard to describe that experience as anything other than incredible. And like Nate's mom was, they're saying goodbye. Thank you for reading this. Guys, so what do you guys think of this story? Bernadette goes, oh my God, that's how tired I am. His name is Nate, and I heard meat. You and me both, Bernadette. Gunner Girl goes, super cool story. Tyranna goes, good story and creepy. Chris Barber goes, trippy. Rochelle goes, I enjoyed this story. Louisa is saying, believe I felt my aunt once while talking about her. Wake Shapeberry goes, that's a ghost rush for sure. I'll probably read a few ghost stories and I'll open it up for questions. Elaine goes, Lisa, you just got my cat's attention. He jolted up and looked at the screen. Oh, hey, cool. Cheryl King goes, great story. Spirit of the Trees goes, very trippy. Oh, I always forget to ask you guys, did you guys know, for you that have Alexa, that she will tell you a scary story? I did that one time before I was going to bed, and she was like, it was a cold, dark night. And I was like, what? So yeah, if you say, Alexa, tell me a scary story, she'll go and tell you a scary story. And sorry if I set off your guys' Alexa. I did that the other day. And she was like, it was a dark, cold night. And Rudy. It was hilarious, but I had a big smile on my face before I went to bed, so that was pretty cool. Sorry, Melissa. She will tell you a scary story, guys. So if you want a scary story before you go to bed, she'll tell you one. She will tell you one. It's like, it's not like super scary, but it's still cool to listen to. So I'm sorry if I set off your guys' Alexa. Sorry, guys. Matthew goes, that one about Alexa talking about a seance, then Alexa says tee hee hee is still funny. Oh, that's when I started getting an Alexa because I saw it was haunted. I was like, oh, I want to see if an Alexa talks. Bernadette. Diane goes, all these stories are awareness to those who experience them, I believe. Chris goes, I have to just watch Freebie. Lots of scary stuff there. Cool. Louisa goes, my grandkids have one, and then when talking to it to play music, my tablet will go off too if I take it. Wake Shapeberry goes, the three investigators, Secret of Terror Castle, great going to bed story. Cool, Wink Shapeberry. Louisa goes, we'll have to try it on my tablet. Definitely, guys, try it. It's pretty. I didn't think she was going to say anything. I thought she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, she was going to, like, you know, slap me if she had hands. All right, the next one is Ghost played with my hair when I was younger. So this was a couple years ago, not too much, like around 5 or 6 maybe. So when I was younger, it took me some time to fall asleep. So I would just stare at the ceiling and think about different stuff. And I share a room with my sister. She's younger though, and I heard her sleeping, so it wasn't her. And I also have 2 brothers, but they were like 2 years older at the time, so of course they were sleeping, and my bed was higher off. Wait a minute, hold on, this makes no sense. Of course they were sleeping, and my bed was higher off the ground, around 1 meter high. So that night I was waiting to fall asleep, and suddenly I hear someone in my room. I don't remember that anyone opened the door though, and it was an adult. Whoever that was pretty tall. He or she didn't have to use a ladder to reach me, so it wasn't a kid. So at first I thought that it was my mom or dad to check if me and my sister are sleeping or to open the window. So I pretended that I was asleep, but it was really dark. So I opened my eyes, but I only saw a shadow, not a face, because it was dark and it was really close to me. And I thought that was my mom, but it wasn't. That thing took some of my hair and started brushing them on my cheeks, like with a paintbrush. So it wasn't my parents, because why would they bother a kid in the middle of the night when I'm supposed to sleep? And I asked them and they said no, plus they usually sleep as soon as my brothers fall asleep. So later that thing went to my legs. The ceiling is low there because there's the roof that's like lower, and that thing fat there perfectly straight. Oh my god, they need to proofread their stuff. That part was also around a meter tall, so an adult should like sit down or kneel down to be there, but that thing was standing up straight there. And after that, oh my god, I don't think I can read the rest of this one because this one isn't written properly. Well, anyways, guys, you get the point. that one's not written properly. Yeah, Chris, I was lost. I'm assuming she was on a bunk bed because she was saying it was high off the ground. Spirit of the Trees is out here. What about doing a spirit box with the studio ghost? I've tried Spirit of the Trees, but I haven't gotten anything. I'm going to keep trying. Because I do have... Hold on. Actually, I brought it in here. Let me see if I can open my bag. I do have an Ovilus. But I've been messing around with it, but I haven't caught anything. Wake Shapeberry goes, wow, that's a lot of text. No. Elaine goes, if the ghost can cut my and style my hair, I'm down. The moral of the story is a ghost was playing with her hair in the middle of the night when she should have been sleeping. I can't read something if it's not like it. They were writing it as if they were talking. Like they were talking into something and then they didn't proofread it or something. They didn't proofread their stuff. So that one I could not read. Rochelle goes, a spirit box would be good in your local haunted house. Or like a haunted location, for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna read one more story. Hopefully it's written decent. Not Piming Provincial Park Unexplained Story. This incident happened in 2019, and to this day, I still can't find an answer. There's a short 20-minute trail in Nopaming called Walking on Ancient Mountains. It's basically a hike up a huge rock that brings you above the tree line. You get 360 views of the lakes and forest around you, and there's a few picnic tables up there to eat breakfast, as it's a great place to watch the sunrise. So my boyfriend and I drove out there. We lose signal, and the last thing we had passed was a campsite about 22 kilometers down the gravel road before our stop. So we went pretty isolated. We were pretty isolated. We get there at roughly 1 a.m. and had made a bed in the back seat trunk of our SUV, so when we get there, we can snooze for a while before hiking up. So we pull up to the base of the trail and want to use the outhouse and get ready to sleep. We honk the horn and slam the doors and yell to scare away any animals nearby, like bears and such, before we walk maybe 40 feet to the bathroom. After all that, we hopped into bed, locked the doors, and within the same minute, we hear heavy footsteps in the gravel outside the car. Step, step, drag, step, step, drag. After being frozen in fear for a moment and hearing these footsteps approach the car, I quickly scramble to the front seat, start the car, and shine my lights around to see what's out there. But there's nothing. No tracks in the gravel, no signs left behind, and anything was out there. I do a quick circle, shining my light bright in the bush that's surrounding us, and we don't see anything. But I was so scared. I stayed up for nearly an hour, shining my lights and waiting for something to come back out. Now I lost my spot. Darn it. Because I had to click it to bigger screen. After not seeing anything, I figured whatever it was had passed through and isn't coming back. So I turned the lights off and crawled to the bed in the back where my boyfriend slept. With no exaggeration, the moment I lay my head back down, we hear the footsteps again. This time walking from the rear driver's side wheel well, where my head lays, around the trunk and to the wheel well next to my boyfriend's head. We look up through the windows, too scared to move, but don't see anything. Then suddenly there's a loud, slow scratch in the wheel well next to my boyfriend's head. Scratch, scratch. My boyfriend hits the wall of the car to scare it away, but it sticks around. And after all of this, I don't remember why we had stayed and not gotten the hell out of there. Maybe at the time we figured it was over a 3-hour drive from Winnipeg to get there, and we'd hate to have wasted all that time. Either way, we stuck it out. The footsteps and scratchings went on for most of the night, and once it was the tiniest bit of light out where we could see our surroundings better, the sound stopped, and we slapped on some headlamps and started our hike. At the time, it was too dark to see, but once we got back from our sunrise breakfast on top of the rock, we saw the tire where the scratching had been was flat. No explanation as to why. We got it changed out and headed home. But to this day, when we think about it, there's no animal that I know that would behave like that and have those heavy specific footsteps, which in my mind at that moment seemed like a person dragging something. A body? I'm not a huge ghost believer, but I've considered an option as perhaps this big rock that sits about the tree line could have been a significant spot for indigenous people at one point. I considered a Wendigo or even a real human, but I can be certain it wasn't an animal. And has anyone else had a similar experience in the Manitoba wilderness? I like that story. Okay, now that's a story. Rochelle goes, maybe Lisa, you can hire phone recorders to create the noises instead of having to say that. True. I can hit a button and it goes scratch, scratch, scratch. Elaine goes, this is a spooky story. Wake sheep berries, toasty marshmallows. Rochelle goes, oh, this is an eerie story. Jennifer Marie goes, this literally sounds like an opening to a horror movie. Yeah, it does. And then the title screen pops up. Yeah, it does. Wendy, I think I have residual energy here. I don't think it's an intelligent haunting, but I do have. I've caught orbs on the camera behind me. Diane goes, that would scare the hell out. That would scare the heck out of me. A Wendigo is. I talked about it. Is a mythological creature or evil spirit originating from the folklore of Plains and Great Lakes natives, as well as some First Nations. The Wendigo is often said to be a malevolent spirit, sometimes depicted as a creature with human-like characteristics which possess human beings. The Wendigo is said to invoke feelings of insatiable greed and hunger, the desire to and the propensity to commit murders in those that fall under the influence. So it is a bad spirit. It's bad. Tyrana goes, thank you. Lisa, it was great. Julissa goes, oh, what's your home history? I think it's, I've been told that my grandfather hangs around me, so I think it's a family member watching over me. I don't think it's, because this house was built in the 70s, so I don't think it's anything. I think it's because this used to be my dad's office, the one, where I'm at now. So I do have pictures of my grandfather and I have like a mirror my grandfather once owned, and I don't know how old that mirror is, to be honest with you. Wake Shakeberry goes, it would be so cool to do a horror camp. It would. That would be so cool. No, Julissa. Like I said, I've been told my grandfather kind of watches over me, so it could be that. Vic says, I saw 2 bright blue orbs in my room back in July, moving over my bed and in the window. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, I catch them on the camera in here every once in a while, or sometimes the camera just turns on by itself. But I don't see anything. And it's weird. Sometimes it's right after, like, I'll leave the room and I'll turn the camera on and then it goes off. Like a minute later. So I'm like, dude, I was just in there. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up to questions. You guys have any questions? Wendy goes, mirrors freak me out. I wanted to read more ghost stories, but I'm seeing double because I'm tired. Jennifer Marie goes, your ghosts are camera shy. They are. Vic goes, has that skeleton ever moved? No, it hasn't. Spirit of the Trees goes, crazy ass shit. Jen Decker's asking my skincare routine. Well, right now, I'm having skincare issues. You probably can't tell because the light blasted out. So it's not the greatest. Because my skin's been, I've been, not that I'm going to tell the world about it. But I've been having issues with my skin recently. I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Thank you, Jen. But no, I mean, lately I've been, yeah. Thank you, Jen. I do appreciate it because I've been feeling, a little self-conscious about it. Guys, keep the questions coming. Tyrana goes, cool hat. Thank you. Rochelle goes, I used to be freaked out by mirrors until I learned in the religious realm, mirrors of God believers, it's a protector, but if you are... It jumped up. But if you are using, say, the insidious black mirror to reach out of body demons, I heard mirrors were portals. Or can be portals. Julissa goes, I like mirrors because they bring more light into a small room, but I would never thrift one. I think mirrors can house bad energy. Bernadette goes, are you drinking water? I see you blooming, but I want you to bloom more. It's electrolytes. I've been just using like the same like acne cream because I've been having issues with that. Just all of a sudden. So I'm not sure what's going on. They are, Melissa. Melissa says zits are demons on your pores. Diane goes, I have tea plants in front of my porch, a Mexican god's eye above my door, and sleep under an Indian dream catcher. I have a dream catcher too as well. I sleep underneath one as well too, Diane. That's kind of cool. Rochelle goes, no question, just great stories. Wake Shapeberry goes, do you like old school horror like Hammer? I'm kind of more into like the 80s horror, but I'm open to I am open to old school horror. I just haven't really watched any, but I am open, and I've seen a few, but I'm open to it. Elaine goes, mirrors completely freak me out. Tyrana goes, what's my favorite snack? I like right now it's like cheese sticks. Cheese sticks and almonds. But they change. And Rice Krispie treats. Don't ask me why, but I love Rice Krispie treats right now. Cheryl, you know what? That's what I was thinking. Your skin could be your stress. That's exactly what I was thinking. because I had read somewhere that can cause it, and I was like, huh, this started like recently. Rochelle, I was thinking I have to try it. I bought a mask, but I haven't used it yet. And I was thinking of doing that too, Rochelle. So to try different things. Wendy Marino, what does your dream catcher do? I've always stayed away from that. It's supposed to keep you from having bad dreams, which I have not had a bad dream. But then I don't sleep very well, so I haven't really been dreaming. Carol goes, I make my own dream catchers. Oh, that is super cool, Carol. We have quite a few around the house. Rochelle, I was thinking of doing that, to try that. Because I've tried everything. Spirit of the Trees goes, hey, Lisa, just want to say spooky season is here. So glad to have virtually met you. Thank you, Spirit of the Trees. And I'm so excited. It's officially spooky season. It's going to go quick, like it always does. And then we're going to go into Christmas. But I always still stay spooky in Christmas, too, as well, with Krampus. So... I will have to check them out, Jen Decker. I don't think I've ever had Rice Krispie treats at Starbucks. Tyrana's going, where's your favorite place to hike? I like the ones around here. I like going to the ones around where I live. But if I have time and I could go on a drive, I like to go to ones that have water, like where you could see like flowing streams. And I've always liked walking by water or being around water. That's what I was thinking, Julissa. Matthew, I actually used to eat the peanut butter version of that one. Bernadette, I've tried the witch hazel and it makes my face worse, but I've never tried turmeric oil and tea tree oil. Rochelle, I've heard about that one too. Like, I've seen people post about that one to try that one. Wendy goes, I love Krampus. I have a shirt with Krampus and Sam from Trick or Treat on it. Elaine goes, what is your favorite comfort food? It has to be mac and cheese. I had some the other day. I love a good mac and cheese. Diane goes, yes, dream catchers catch nightmares. God eye protects evil spirits, and the same for tea plants. I wear an evil eye bracelet. Wendy goes, I actually have the Krampus DVD. I have a Krampus on the shelf. You know how they have Elf on the shelf? I have a Krampus on the shelf. Keep the questions going, and then after this, we'll continue the after party on Telegram. If you guys the mods, if you could drop the link to the Telegram. If you have Telegram and haven't joined, please do so. We always go crazy on there. I can never catch up. But But I love seeing all your messages on there. Jen Decker says, a friend of mine just got a Krampus tattoo. Oh, that's cool. Bernadette goes, my dream catcher is by the windows to not let the bat in. I have a wind chime. I forgot. I think it was the movie. There was a movie called, I think it was called Dream Catchers, where they would put wind chimes in the windows. And so I did that. So I have a wind chime hanging by my sliding glass door in the back in my room. Rochelle goes, and then I also have wind chimes hanging outside. I love, especially when it's windy, I love hearing the sounds. I agree, Rochelle. Wind chimes are magical. Wink Shapeberry once stole a wind chime? Elaine goes, wind chimes are awesome. I love them. I just like the sound of them. They're so soothing. I have one that sounds really cool. It actually has a cobweb on it. I just noticed. I looked at it the other day and I go, there's a cobweb on my wind chime? Bernadette goes, oh my god, that movie Dreamcatcher is so good, so underrated. I haven't seen that movie in so long, but I like that movie so much that I took the idea from it. Chris Barber goes, I have over 15 wind chimes hanging on my back porch. I have 2. I have a big one, and then I have a little one, and then I got the one that I have hanging in my inside by my sliding glass door in my bedroom. Wendy Murray goes, charge the spiders rent. Diane goes, didn't know the significance of wind chimes, but always have one. Wink Sheep Berry did hang it up a tree. So, hey, still used it. Mine, the one I have is it's beautiful sounding. Like when you hear it, I know, oh, I love the sound of it. It's just it's beautiful. It sounds like musically. Like it's like, yeah, it's like a musical tone. I better check. I better not be careful of black widows. Because Chris Berber goes, spiders like to nest inside the tubes. That's probably why there's a big web on top of it. Carol goes, Carol, you make your own wind chimes? That is so cool. I make my own wind chimes I found a site that tells what links for certain tones. That is so cool, Carol. No way. That is neat. Jen Decker, I have 2 in front and of the front door and 2 by the back door. Santa Fe, what is up? I'm not too superstitious, but I do believe in karma and taboo. I guess I could say I'm spiritual, but not too religious. I love cats. Brandon Torres goes, Carol does great woodwork. Wow, Carol is like very talented. Tyrana goes, what do you like to collect the most and what do you want to get next? Right now it's skeletons and ghosts. Thank you, Spirit of the Trees. And then I collect rubber duckies. I collect weird things. Like, oh, the Disney Doorables. I collect those, by the way. And I'm not a Disney fan, but I collect the Doorables. If you that makes any sense. So I have a bunch of Doorables sitting in front of my great place that I put them. I put them in front of my TV speaker. I'm trying to think of what else I collect. Funko Pops. I collect Funko Pops. I like the Toonie Terrors. I don't know if you guys have seen the Toonie Terrors. The little action figures. I have a few of them on the wall. I collect those. Vic is there. Are you gonna open a shop? I have a merch shop. Diane, the Adorables, they're like these little I don't know what you call them, little figurines of different Disney characters. So they have like Sully from I like Monster Inc. So they have Sully from Monster Inc. They have like the Nightmare Before Christmas characters, like they have Sally, and then like the Monster Inc. They have Sully, Boo, Leonard, I think his name is, and then they have like Tinkerbell, like little, like they're like little tiny figurines, but they're cute. And then Tara goes, "What do you want to collect next?" I don't know. I always get into something and it's always weird. So I'm not sure what my next collection would be. I even like rocks. Like I would collect rocks. Chris Barr goes, "I collect frogs, turtles, and birds." Carol goes, "Right now I'm teaching myself how to do seed beads on a loop." That is so cool. So Tyrana, I don't know what I want to collect next. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're like these mini Diane. They're like these mini. They're about like that big. They're cute. I just saw them and I just started collecting them. And I'm not a Disney fan or anything, but I just started collecting them, which is weird. Hot Wheels. If I find like a Hot Wheel that I like a crazy Hot Wheel, I'll buy it. Like it just depends. Whatever I see. Diane goes, "I collect tiles from places I've been." That's cool. I collect pins, so I have different pins. That I collect, stickers. I started collecting pins for different states I've been in. Carol goes, "I have a collection of ornaments of wolves." That is super cool. I have wolf figures too. Jen, thank you for the super sticker of this cute corgi. Hearts for Jen, guys. Thank you for the support. Wendy goes, "I collect license plate, lived in many places." That's cool, Wendy. That actually is cool. Elaine goes, "I collect different types of rocks and stones." It's whatever I'm drawn to. That's usually kind of how my collection starts. Keep the questions going, guys. Chris Barber likes rocks. There's a lot of movies that came out. For I think our next movie we're gonna watch is Pet Cemetery, on Paramount Plus. I think it's, what is it called? Bloodlines? Holy crap, is this hot? Thank you, Virginia Decker, for your Cash App. Hearts for Virginia. Diane goes, I also like foreign coins. I collect like weird looking coins too. It's like whatever I'm drawn to, I kind of just, it's weird how it goes. Elaine goes, if you could go anywhere, where would it be? I would love to go to Japan. If I could, if it was a quick, plane ride, I would love, because me and planes. Tyrana, thank you for the super sticker with the cute corgi. Hearts for Tyrana as well. Thank you for the support. I would love to go to England, Scotland, and Ireland. Love to go to Japan. There's so much spookiness in Japan. Those spirits do not mess around. That's so much folklore as well. So it's someplace I would like to go. Obviously, go to Korea, because that's where my mom was from. So I'd like to go back. I think when I went, I was like 10 months old. The last time I went. Yes, it's Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. I think that's the next movie we're gonna watch next week. So keep out. I'm pretty sure Lewis is gonna do a watch party or say everyone to watch it. It's a prequel. I believe it's a prequel to Pet Cemetery. And then there's also VHS 85. That's on Shudder for anyone that has Shudder. Elaine, thank you for the super sticker. Hearts for Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. You're awesome. Hearts for Elaine, guys. Thank you for the support. With the, I believe it's the fitness pair saying, keep it. I can't see it until it bumps up. Keep it up. The fitness pair is pumping iron. Diane goes, been many places around the world, but never to Asia. Hope I can go there also. And then if anything, I would love to get a mala bracelet from India. Because I've seen their beautiful beaded, because I like the beaded bracelets, and I've always wanted to get one from India. But it's Asia and England, Scotland, and Ireland if I could go anywhere. But the plane. Me and planes don't mix right now. All right, guys, keep the questions coming. I will be on for a few more minutes. And then we'll continue the after party on Telegram. I'm sure there's people already there. If anyone could drop the link for or mods, can you drop the link to my Telegram for anyone that would love to join it? Santa Fe goes, I think the scariest movie I ever saw was the original Jaws. It was at the theater. I was 5, was so traumatized I couldn't take a bath for 3. I thought Jaws was going to come up through the drain. That's crazy, because I had the same thing with because there was a scene in Nightmare on Elm Street where Freddy comes through the wall, and I could not sleep because I was older too. This was the crazy thing. Usually those things don't, but like after watching it, I could not sleep. I was thinking he was going to come through the wall. Brandon dropped the link to my Telegram, so if you guys want to join, the after party is going to be at Grayson Report Telegram. Carol goes, I have been on a plane, but I love being in a Huey helicopter. That was super fun. That sounds fun. Vic goes, I used to be scared of Twister back in 95. Wendy goes, imagining skeletons grooving to this music. It's to help with the dead air. That's why I put the music, just in case. So you guys know I didn't freeze. Because I notice sometimes when I'm listening to something and they stop, I think like my phone, like it froze or something. So the music kind of helps with that. Santa Fe goes, that's some real shit. The ocean just isn't made for man. Man's nightmare baby. Yeah. I think of Jaws when I'm in the ocean. That is super cool, Carol. Thank you, Cheryl, for dropping by. Jen saying hearts for the amazing mods. Thank you, Jen. Alright, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. Just remember the after party at the Grayson Report Telegram. I will see you on the next one, which will be Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there, be squared. Stay spooky, guys, and thank you. You guys are awesome. See you on the next one. Good night. And remember, after party, Telegram, Grayson Report. Good night, guys.